So as we're starting here, I feel like we're starting a little bit in a construction zone. Today is sort of a start of a remedy, a frequency remedy, which has to do with beings that are overly identified with things happening on the outside. Like these dogs, like the construction, like there's always something to maneuver out there. Because it's out there, like there's this constant, like, is this okay, is that okay, like constantly out. The focus is out. That produces a particular effect of desperation in the body. It is up to you, and I'm talking to you, the soul of this body that has this. You haven't done a good enough job to read what the body needs and what your job is here to do with the body. Your experience with your body is what you're reading. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. But women tend to be more identified with the body and the body's feelings. And the masculine, typically, traditionally, but of course that can vary, but is overly identified with the knower and the intellect part of the human construct. Let's say, to get a fully working human, you need to have the knower, the soul, and you need to have the feeler, both working together. And so what this will do is it will instill more of the knower, more of that stable, grounded, secure being that you know that you are. That's the frequency that needs to be injected into the body, that frequency, particular frequency in this case, so that you start to live from the inside out. That can be easier said than done, but much better to be aligned to using a higher frequency. That is why that was created. That was the remedy for that. That can be listened to over and over again. For the remedy was for this being for 28 days in the beginning, and then as needed. And the whole purpose is that there is the alignment to this stable, secure part of you, the one that knows that it is its job to inject the energy into the body. And you don't outsource that to anyone out there. That's not any of them their business. That's your business with your body. And you need to create the space in your space. So the first thing you do is to create space in your body. You start to create a physical safety space for yourself. And tell people to fuck off when you're in your space. Right? Start to inject some boundary, some oomph, some gusto. That is what's needed. That is the shadow that we're integrating. And that is now we're integrating some of that into the experience, so that these things can be managed better from some oomph that is needed. So getting comfortable with a different energy, a different flavor of energy that is more secure, more stable, and speak their mind when something is not in harmony with itself first, and then other beings. Because it knows that it is only through self, the value of self, that you can truly be of assistance to anyone outside of you, especially if they are your kids or some close beings around you. They might just be learning, and so they're mirroring everything that you got going on. So if you are annoyed and just going out there with your energy, then they're gonna reflect that ding 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 ding, like more attention out there. The more attention you feel out there, the more you are out there. So you have to rein it in, inject a different frequency, so that you're seated in your self-worthness and go, hang on a second. This is my home. This is my space. I get to say what is in my space. Develop that space. Start with the Gaia sessions, this video, and keep repeating this every single day for 28 days. And then if you want to have a better experience, you can download the Gaia session. That is a session where we introduce brainwaves and more frequencies to balance the left and the right hemisphere of your brain, so that they become more one, so that the information goes in to your system as a remedy, which is it is supposed to be. It is supposed to be taken as a remedy, as a frequency remedy, and you need that harmonization to fully let it sink on deeper levels and make it automatic. That is what that does. So highly recommend that. And this is the thing. It is needed with injecting healthy habits of self-worth, self-trust, and just truly be okay being you, and let beings be pissed off if they want to, and just be okay with that. Learn to be okay with people having experiences like that. That's okay. People have their experience, and there's nothing that we can do really to affect that unless they're asking or open to hear. Right? And if they're not, the only thing that we can do is tend to our own frequency, to what we choose for us. It has to be for us first. Because unless it is for you first, you're not going to serve anyone else around you either. You know? You're not going to truly be of service to them, because the frequency that you are asking them to embody is a disempowered one. You don't want to do that. You have to, as a soul, inject the right frequency. That is what we do to alchemize our bodies, right? And so then there needs to be calibration in the system, so that you start to land further who you are into these bodies. These are the calibration. This is the shadow work, if you may. This is the antidote, so that you're integrating the correct shadow for your integration. And that can happen in many different ways. This is one way that is highly effective. So we are wishing you so much luck with this remedy. This is something that you can use to start to shift your perspective and your thinking and your alignment with the holistic perspective. That is what all of these videos are. They are alignment to the holistic perspective. And so by using them, you are aligning more to the holistic perspective. If you want to dive deeper, you may visit these Heya sessions, and then you ingrain it deeper and faster. And then highly recommend that all of you in conjunction, because it is not enough to just receive frequencies. You have to do the right corrections of the mind in order to support that change, so that it will be a lasting change. And that is why we recommend also the Holistic Optimizer. And to get started with that, there is a free 28-day consciousness shift that we are providing the foundation needed. Only those are highly transformational. So if you haven't done it already, or if you got stuck and got out of it, get back in, because doing these daily will do miracles for your life. They are the starting point for you to comprehend and step further into the holistic perspective. So start today, keep going. If you've dropped out a few days, it's okay, but get back in there. Keep focused on this holistic perspective, because it will take you through your life. It is like your lifeline in frequency during these times. It is highly important to stay energetically aligned for your health, for your well-being, for your prosperity, for your just enjoyment of being here as a person that can inject energy and actually make miracles happen. This is how you make miracles happen. This is how it happens. There is an alignment. There is an alignment to the miracle. We can feel all of you. You're doing so well. It is important work that you are doing. You are actually contributing to the raising of the frequency of the planet in your sector. This is how we do it. This is how we raise the frequency of the planet. We do it all together in truth. So think of this as an orchestra, and we are starting the ship, steering the ship. So that we can be united in truth at the very least. Because we know what truth is. And that is worth all of this. That is worth investing our time and our energy into and pouring our love into. Because that's what we will see grow in our lives. Just this joy of being a human here on this planet and injecting our own will here. Don't get too caught up in all of the games. Take a step back and see, we have choices. All right, how do we want to play this? Be like the chess player, That's what you are. Don't get caught in the game. Take your head out, see the whole picture, take a deep breath, and then get back in there. Anchor more light. Anchor more light into your bodies. And this is how it looks sometimes. For some beings, this is what they wanted, to inject this, to learn how to inject this. Perhaps it was a little challenging for them, right? It's like, I got caught again in that loop, that sacrificial loop. I need to Get back in there. Get back in the game. Don't just let your body go on autopilot. Take control, take charge. Actually do it every single day. Make it into a thing. That's why we came with this 28 days of consciousness shift, to support you every day to make this shift. Because this shift is a massive one that we're all being asked to do right now. And so we're sending you so much love from here, so much upliftment in everywhere you are in your journey. We are multidimensional, and so we come with our support whenever you tune to this frequency. These are your lifelines during these times. We love you. We love you so much. Sending you so much blessings. You got this. Now we finally know what we're here for. We love you. Take care, and we'll see you again in the next one. Ciao.